Okay, I just want to bring some clarity to my power structure criteria because it seems like based on from monologue 47, it seems like from monologue 47, like a lot of people, a lot of you may have lost the message. Like y'all saw this chart that I created, and y'all automatically assuming that I'm stating that the MLS is on the same level as the big five European leagues, and that the MLS is better than uh, Liga MX, and that the MLS is better than some of the leagues in South America. This chart is not based on, it doesn't determine who is the best league based upon skill. This criteria, this chart it determines who are the top leagues based on market value. And these numbers that I got from is from transfermarket.us. It's just to distinguish the power leagues based on their value, how much money they have, how much revenue they have. I give a Here is an example and a comparison that I give. If you're American and you're familiar with college football, they determine their power structure not based on which league has the best players. It's based on which conference produces the most revenue. So that's how you have Power Five. You see, in college football, the conference you have an unofficial name for the top conferences, and they're called Power Five. Power Five consists of SEC, ACC. Well, I guess it's in this power structure order: SEC, Big Ten, then ACC, Big 12, Pac 12. Now, if it was based on skill, we're just judging the Power Five and the college football conferences based on skill, then the Pac 12 and the Big 12 will be left out. Now, college football fans and the college football expert, if you're a subscriber and you're an avid follower of college football, you understand what I'm talking about. So, college football fans, they know that the Pac-12 is not better than the Sun Belt Conference based on skill. College football fans also know that the Pac-12 is not better than the American Conference based on skill. And arguably, the Pac-12 is probably not better than the MAC. They're probably not better than Conference USA. But the Pac-12 is still considered a power league, a power conference, because of the revenue it produces. It produces more revenue than those other conferences that I named. Based on skill and talent wise, the Pac 12 looks identical to the Mountain West. But the Pac 12 is still considered Power 5 because of the money it has, the revenue it produces. The revenue it generates. So, this power structure criteria that I created for global football, it is just to determine the top leagues, the power order of the leagues based on their market value. So when I say the MLS is a power league, I'm not saying that the MLS is one of the best leagues in the world. I'm not saying that the MLS is on the same level as the European football leagues. Do I believe it's going to get there someday? Yes. Whether you people like it or not, the MLS will be on the same level as the Big Five European leagues someday. In our lifetime. Not out of our lifetime. In our lifetime. I give it a good 20 years. Within 20 years, the MLS will be on the same level as the European leagues. The MLS is getting ready to surpass Liga MX. It's already getting ready to surpass Liga MX. And this is one thing that I'm starting to realize about traditional football fans. Traditional football fans are extremely conservative when it comes to their sport. Traditional football fans are so conservative to the point that they don't look past their conservatism to see something different in the near future. Traditional football fans are so conservative that they're not willing to make any tweaks and changes to the game so it can be more offensive, so we can see more scoring and we can see some great passes and more great plays being created that will enable more scoring to take place in the game that will elevate the entertainment level of the league. Just because the European leagues and Liga MX and the South American leagues have been the best in the past 50 or the past 100 years, it doesn't mean it's going to be like that for the next 50 to 100 years. Look at Rome. At one point, Rome was a dominant power, a global power. Eventually, Rome fell. And I bring up Rome is to say, as an example, is just because a group of leagues have been great and been at the top for the past 50 years, it doesn't mean that they're going to be at the top for the next 50 years. So when I speak on these monologues, look, y'all looking at today, I'm looking at tomorrow. Y'all looking at now, I'm looking at the future. Y'all responding to me about what's going on now, while I'm speaking about what's going to happen. I'm telling you what's getting ready to happen. I'm the forerunner. I'm like John the Baptist. I'm like the messenger. I'm telling you what's getting ready to happen. There is getting ready to be a shift in the power structure of global football. And the MLS is going to be part of that global shift. Canada is going to be part of that global shift. It's going to be big change that's getting ready to happen. And I'm just letting you guys know what's getting ready to happen. So when it does happen, you won't be surprised. Because when you see it happen, you'll say, the messenger already told me what was getting ready to happen. The messenger told me back in 2022 what was gonna happen in 2040. And 2040 is here and it's already happening. That's who I am. I'm telling you what's getting ready to happen. So, like, when you hear me speak on these monologues and when you see me and when you see like a chart, a power structure criteria that I created, you have to look, you have to think about, okay, what is the message? What is the big picture? What is the overall message that he's trying to speak? Just don't focus on a few phrases that I say in a monologue and just come to a conclusion based on something that you just based on a few words that you hear from the monologues. This power structure criteria is just based on market value. It's just based on market value. This is how we group the league, similar to college football. You have your SEC, Big 10, ACC, Big 12, Pac-12. Everybody in college football knows that the Pac-12 and the Big 12 are on the same level skill-wise as the group of five. Where in the group of five was what? Mountain West, Sun Belt, American, MAC, Conference USA. When it comes to skill, it's really the power two, SEC, Big 10. To be honest with you, when it comes to skill, it's the big two, and then it's everybody else. It's the big two, and then everybody else. When it comes to college football, if you're doing it based on skill, but they don't do it based on skill, they do it based on money, based on revenue production, revenue generation. And so my chart is similar to that, but it's based on market value. Just to give viewers an idea, people who are not too familiar with football, how to differentiate, okay, which leagues are the top leagues and which leagues are the bottom leagues. Because listen, it doesn't matter how good you really are. Well, let me carefully state this. Like, skill does matter, but money matters more. This is why the Pac-12 gets more love than the Sun Belt Conference, because the Pac-12 has more money than the Sun Belt Conference. This is why the Pac-12 gets more love than the American Conference, because the Pac-12 has more money. This is why the Big 12 gets more love than the MAC, because the Big 12 has more money. So you can be skillfully better as a league. You can be skillfully better than another league. But if that other league has more money than you, that other league has more respect. You guys are so conservative, and you all are not used to seeing the MLS grow at such fast rate and see the MLS become dominant because of your conservatism. You're like, when you see the MLS being recognized as a power league, you're like, oh hell no. The MLS has never been a power league, and it never will be a power league. Well, guess what? Change is coming. Change is taking place right now. And based on market value, the MLS is a power league. And based on market value, Liga MX is not a power league. I'm not saying that MLS is skillfully better than Liga MX. We know that's not true. We know that Liga MX is skillfully better than the MLS. But like I said, it comes to the college football comparison. The Sun Belt is skillfully better than the Pac-12. But guess who has more respect? The conference or the league that has more money, which is the Pac-12. So yes, Liga MX is skillfully better than the MLS. But guess who has more respect? The MLS. They're the league that has more money. The league that has more money has the bigger voice. The league that has more money has bigger influence. College football, when it comes to college football playoffs, the league that has the more money has the more influence, which is SEC. Why? Because they have the most money. They have the most influence. The more money your league have, the more influence your league has. And that's just reality. It's just reality. And, because of your football conservatism, you're not used to seeing the MLS growing and transforming into a major league, a power league. You're like, no way this can be. Not in my lifetime. But guess what? It is happening in your lifetime. The change is taking place right now. So, I just want to bring some clarity to this power structure. Power structure criteria is based on market value. The power structure criteria does not determine which league is skillfully better than the other league. It's not like that. The power structure criteria is similar to college football's power structure criteria. American college football power structure is based on which team generates the most revenue. The power structure that I created for global football is similar to that, and it's based on market value, the data that I got from transfermarket.us. So I just wanted to bring more clarity on that. And for future reference, remember, I'm the messenger. I speak into the future. I'm not speaking into now, but I'm speaking ahead. It's like for some of you listeners and viewers, it's like we're going on a road trip. We're driving from Miami to Boston on I-95. We stop for gas in Jacksonville, and 10 hours later, y'all still in Jacksonville, and I'm in Newark by now. I'm far ahead from y'all. Y'all looking into now, and I'm looking ahead to the future. So when you listen to these monologues, just keep that in mind. I'm telling you what's to come. I'm telling you what's getting ready to happen. I'm informing you what's taking place right now. So when it happens, you won't be surprised. You'll be like, oh, Aku the messenger. This is the stuff he used to talk about, and it's happening right now. So just keep that in mind when you listen to these monologues. These monologues is it's not just a random rant. It's not. You may think it's a random rant, but these monologues are not random rants. These monologues is a message. I'm telling you what is getting ready to happen. Sometimes I'm not on. Sometimes I am off. I'm not spot on. Sometimes I'm not. I'll admit that. But just keep this in mind. I'm the messenger, and I'm telling you what's getting ready to happen. And also, I also really want to, it's really also for the person who's not really into soccer, someone who's not really into traditional football, and they're just trying to get a better understanding of not only the game, but also the culture and just the things that's happening not only on the field, but off the field. So I just wanted to bring clarity on my power structure criteria. It's not based on skill. It's based on market value, based on money.
Hey, look, I am on television. Open the book, open your mind. They trying to tell you different. Don't do what they say, that's not how they act. They trying to sell you visions, sell you a dream. How does it look? It's time to tell them, listen. Keep the syringe, got no time to binge, no time for this.